Okay, hello everybody. One thing that I have to do a lot in the work that I do is compare two lists. If I have two lists of data and I have to compare one, say I want to know where's the overlap. If I have a one list, I want to know how many in this list are also in another list, right? And that's pretty common. In fact, in my work, it's one of the things I get asked to do the most. So here I'm going to show you a couple of different methods that I've used in Excel to accomplish that. I've identified three fairly common ways to accomplish this: uh, manual, match, and count. Now, before we do this, I need to generate the data that I'm going to use. I have a lot of data that I use at work, but it's proprietary. I mean, I don't want to share actual data that I used for the company that I work for now. So I need to generate two random lists of data, right? So let me show you what I'm going to do for that first. Okay, so this is what I've done. I took 36 rows. I start the alphabet, A through Z, and then 0 through 9. Those are the most common, those are the most common characters. So I start with that, 36. Then I made this kind of complicated formula. I just said index, column A, and then I used the formula rand between, which is give me a number between 1 and 36, a random number between 1 and 36, and then return the value from that row. So, and then I have 5 of them. So each one of these is 5 characters, and each one of the characters is a random in the data set of the alphabet and the digits, A through Z and 0 through 9. So here with my list of 500 variables, I'm going to first I want to copy this formula because I'm going to use it again for the second set of data. All right. So there now, so I have this, and I'm going to copy that to values. So, and the reason I'm doing that is because it's going to, every time I hit enter, it'll change. See, watch. See, it just, because it's random, it'll change. So I have a list of 500 here. You can see I have down to row 500 of data here. And up here, I'm going to pick a smaller set, 83. Okay, that's a good number. Now, I'm going to set this up because I want to make sure that I have duplicates in here. I'm going to copy some that I know are in there, right? So now I have two data sets, one of 500 and one of 103. So now I want to know how many are in both lists. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have my data sets. I'm going to insert a row. We'll call this set 1, and we'll call this set 2. Okay, so set 1 and set 2. And now somebody just brings me this data and says, I need to know how many are in both, right? When they bring it to me, it's already sorted. Okay, so when they bring it to me, it's already sorted. And they want to know which ones in this set are also in this set. So the intersect, basically. There's 3 different ways I've identified that we can accomplish this. Manual, match, and count. So let me show you the manual first. And this is real easy. If somebody just brings me 2 data sets and they say, I just need this done just this one time, just quickly, can you tell me where they overlap? And the quickest way to do this when you don't have any frame of reference or anything, I'll show you a trick that this is the manual method. So what I would do here is if I want to know which ones are in both really quickly, the quickest way to do this I found is I'll take one data set and I'll give it a color, right? Blue, something that'll pop. I don't want to give this another shade of blue or anything, so I'll give this one a, what's the opposite of blue? I guess, yellow or something. Yellow. So now I have blue and yellow, right? The quickest way to identify for me the overlap here. I just take the blue and I put it. So now I have a data set with all of the data. This is like the big set, right? And I'm going to put a filter on there, and then I'm going to sort it A to Z. Now, anytime you have a duplicate, it's the only way you're going to find them is where the yellow and the blue mash up together, right? Because they're all alphabetical. So I'm just going to quickly look through here, and I just have to scan. Let's see. There's one right there. See? And there's a lot of different ways to do this, but just the quickest way is kind of just scan through and look and see where your duplicates are, and you can quickly identify them like this. Here I'll put a little, hold on. But what I'll do is I will just see where they overlap. We'll see where the duplicates occur, right? So I see, here's one right here. And I'll just put a little X or something there. And then when I'm done, I'll filter on the X's and I'll have all the duplicates there, right? So I don't want to do this whole thing, but because it's a lot, but see, there's another one. And you can tell because it'll only be where the yellow and the blue are right up against each other. You could have a whole, rather than going through each one by one and looking for them, right? So that's a quick way to do it. If you have a big data set and you don't have a lot of time, and you don't know how to program or how to, I don't say program, and say you don't know how to do the formulas and stuff real quickly, this is a quick way to do it. So, so there's a quick way to do it without any kind of Excel expertise or any kind of writing any formulas or anything like that. Filter. Okay. So here, and then I can just take out the blanks and look at the X's, and there's my overlap. I mean, of course, there's more. You just saw me copy them in there, but that's a real quick way to do it. That's the manual way. So now let me. The quickest, the other way to do it is, let's say I need to know which of these are also in this set. And that's a really big set, so you don't want to just scan through it. So the way to do it with a match is use the match command, lookup value. The lookup value is this. This is what I want to see, right? And the lookup array is here. It's column A. And I want an exact match, right? And that's really important to do because now that gives me an NA. That says that there's no match. Sometimes it's difficult when you have an error, when it returns an error and you're looking for something, it'll throw it off if there's an error. So a way to avoid that is say use this command if error, then return a 0. So what that's saying is here's your match command, and the if error is just saying if there's an error, return a 0 rather than the NA, right? So the match will give me the row number 70, 129, 156. So and because these are both sequential, they're both sorted, then these will be also not sequential, but like you'll have the larger numbers at the bottom and the smaller numbers at the top. So here's all your matches right here, and this will tell you exactly where to identify them in the array. Like there's 489 is U8B1, so 489 is YU8B1. YU8B1. See, so it'll tell you exactly where they are. Now there's, what was the other one, was match and count. Count is kind of the same thing, but since these are all random numbers, the odds of there being a match just randomly is pretty astronomical. But here, let's let's delete the, let's do the count, okay? So there's your count, and I'm going to use this command, count if. The range is, again, the column A, and I can highlight the whole column rather than saying A1 through A600 or whatever I use, 500. I just use the whole column. And the criteria is, again, the number in the sequence there. So this is just counting. Tell me how many times this, how many times does this value occur in this array? And it's 0. Of course, it's going to be 0 if there is no match. I don't expect to find anything more than a 1. But here, so there's all my matches again, and it doesn't give me the number in the sequence, but at least tells me that it's there. So it depends on what you want or what you're using it for. I use these pretty interchangeably. Actually, mostly I use match because it's the most accurate one. It doesn't only tell me yes, it's there, but it tells me where it is located. Now, one benefit to match will give you the first match, and if there's more than one, it won't give you more than one. It'll only tell you the first time it occurs in that sequence. I've gone ahead and added some more data at the bottom of this data set, and let me show you why. Let me show you the benefit of using the count is it'll tell you how many times it appears. So if I want to know that this occurs once, twice, and say, let's take out the ones, and we'll say I only want to see the 2s and 3s, the ones that occurred more than once. See, this will give me 161, but it won't tell me obviously it won't tell me the next time it occurs, even though there is one. So the benefit of having count if is it will tell you how many times it occurs, where some are 2 and 3. The benefit of match is that it's more accurate in telling you where in the sequence it occurs, but the benefit of count is it'll tell you how many different times it occurs. So it depends on what you need and why you're doing the matching in the first place. Anyway, so that's today's lesson. If you liked it, click like and subscribe. Then let me know if there's anything you want to see, in Excel. I pretty much can do whatever needs to be done in Excel. So thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye.